Hello, YouTube. Welcome to a lesson with Angelic. How you doing, Angelic? How's homework been going? How's voice stuff been going? What's been going on with you?
I'm good. Yeah, voice training's been good.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing a bit of practicing now and again when I can. But yeah.
Hang on. That should make it echo a bit less for you there. Yeah, okay, so you've been training plenty and that's all been good for you. No, why is that messed that up? Ugh. Okay, hang on.
It's always a webcam.
It is always for webcam. Okay,
Always
hang
have
on.
issues with that.
This can go to there because I have that properly set up now. But now, again, OBS is completely messed up. So I need to move this over to here. Pop you over here. Snip that off quickly. Every time, OBS is an absolute nightmare for this. Okay. But I'm getting quicker at fixing it, so... Okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so yeah, you've been doing plenty of practice, which is good to hear. Okay, let's go into some warm-ups, and then you can show me how you've been doing. Okay, if you want to follow after me, we'll do some softies together. Nice.
Sorry. What? Sorry, I've lost it all of a
You're
sudden.
doing okay, don't worry.
That needs to be higher, doesn't it?
A little bit higher, like a note or two.
I was doing them fine a minute ago.
Yeah.
I
Try, if
was
you're not doing it
practice
already,
before.
try putting a little bit of pressure on your cheeks to help stabilize it.
Yeah.
Nice. Good. Nice. Try to make sure we're taking it down as well.
Yeah, I keep losing it sometimes. Like
Yeah?
when I was practicing during the week, I kept losing it at times as well.
Okay. Are we running out of breath there? Or is the trill, like, if we're having like a functional
The
issue?
trill, it just stops, yeah.
Okay then. So my guess is we're having an airflow issue as we get to that lower end. I would guess that as we're getting towards the end of a breath, that's where those airflow issues are coming in. So you need to try and stabilize that airflow even though you're running out of breath. Like intuitively, you're going to try to put in less air because you're about to run out, but like it's okay.
Yeah.
You need to allow yourself to get to that run out point. So try. It might feel like you need to push a little bit more air out as you get into that lower to try and counteract your like your brain trying to put less out, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Good, good. That was really good. That was really good. Good. Okay, and then maximum range, both high and low. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah? Do you want to try it again to try and get it in one
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, I'll try one more. Yeah.
Nice, nice. That was really good. That was really, really good. Okay, now up to the top, we're going to do a little siren. Oh, your sound's cut out. Hello,
Oh,
do you still hear us?
Was
Okay.
I? No, sorry. Was I supposed to go down as well?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, go down as well.
Okay,
You
sorry.
got that off. Perfect. No, it sounded like your mic went off there. Okay, yeah, and
I'll
bring
try
it down
again.
again afterwards.
Yeah.
Nice. And then the same thing in reverse, okay?
Hang on.
That's okay, try again. Nice. Okay, well done. Okay, brilliant. So, remind me what it was that we were working on last time.
We were going through weight.
Yes,
And,
okay.
Yeah. Smoothing out pitch as well.
Yeah, I
A little
imagine we were
bit.
doing the pitch hills.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's go through those again. So I'll do a quick demonstration of one, and then you're going to do the same thing. And then I'll continue talking with this gentler kind of a sound that we gained from that pitch hill. Okay? And why don't you, for a topic, why don't you tell me about what you've been up to the last couple of weeks since our last lesson?
Okay. So yesterday I had my final practical exam for my course, which was a 5-hour exam of cooking 4 different dishes.
Nice. That's super cool. How'd it go?
Went really well, actually.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well done. That's really cool.
Thanks.
I like that you're a chef. This is very fun for me. Okay, cool. That sounds really good, actually. You did really well there. Cool. Okay, how confident do you feel doing those?
I feel like I'm a bit rocky still. Like I'm still learning it, but I've been practicing it throughout the week, and
Yeah, I can tell.
I seem to be getting a bit better at them.
Yeah. Okay, let's go for another one. And I'm going to try and be hypercritical this time. Okay, we'll go for another. I'm not going to cue you off. I'm going to see if you can just do it from fresh.
I don't know. I don't know what to
Oh,
talk
sorry, I
about.
didn't give you a
Sorry.
topic. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay.
One thing I am noticing there, I don't think I heard it in your actual voice as you went into talking in the last one, but I noticed in both of your drills there, as you're coming down, you're adding a lot of breathiness. So watch out for we're not having a conflation between breathiness and a light perceptual weight. So remember, breathiness kind of sounds like this. So when you're on your down, you're going like, where we have all of that breathiness in there. I want, do you hear how there's no like breathiness in that? Or like if I was to bring things over here, it'd be like, versus, yeah?
Yeah.
So try to not go too breathy with it, just to make sure we're not conflating breathiness and that gentle, light perceptual weight. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, go ahead again. And why don't you tell me what were the dishes you presented?
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the first dish was a quail Scotch egg with an onion chutney. The second dish I had to serve was a shellfish bisque with a crostini, garlic aioli, and seared prawns. Then we served some bass with a cream reduction sauce, spinach timbale, and mussels. And then lastly, I served pan-seared duck breast, confit duck leg, rosti potato with carrots and a broccoli, and a red wine reduction.
Nice. Okay, first of all, they sound delicious. But secondly, that was really good. Your voice was nice and stable. There was a little bit of fluctuation towards the end there, but you recovered it almost immediately. So honestly, I think you're doing pretty well there.
Oh, cool.
You said you're not feeling 100% confident. Is there any particular... excuse me. Are there any particular elements you're concerned with?
I think it's just the start of it. Like I can go straight into the voice, but I can't. Like I can, rise up and pitch and stuff, but it's like a stage. It's not a.
Yes, you
a
worry
hill,
about like
that
the
it's just
smoothness
steps.
of that pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I don't really mind that too much because it's not the thing we're working on here. Like, this isn't to help you with pitch. This is to help you with perceptual weight. And so, like, if the actual moving of pitch is a little tricky for you at the moment, I'm not really too bothered. Because in your normal day-to-day talking, I'm not expecting you to do these crazy pitch slides as you talk.
Yeah.
So, like, if they're not something that's perfect, then it doesn't really matter to me. Unless it was something that particularly started to bother you. I imagine if you tried to go into like some singing, you might have some stumbling there. So if singing's in the future, then something to address. If not, it doesn't matter too much. Okie dokie then. I'm tempted. I know we haven't been working on perceptual weight very long, but I can tell you've been practicing and it's paying. So I'm leaning towards, let's just take you to the next step. So the next step would be playing with vocal tract size. There's a lot of different names for this because they're all looking at the same problem with from different lenses. But the essential basic concept, I imagine I probably talked to you about it a little in our very first lesson, but to recap, the idea is essentially, if you produce a sound, that sound doesn't exist absent of anything else. It exists within an environment, okay? And that environment is going to shape the sound. So we still have that like core tone, that like single note, but because that note is existing somewhere, that note reverberates and resonates through that space. If you have a smaller space, you get a smaller, brighter kind of a sound. If you're in a larger space, you get that larger, cavernous, darker kind of a sound. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Great. Now, when your vocal tract was exposed to testosterone, a few things happened. One of those things is your larynx, that's a big box of cartilage inside of your vocal folds. Some people call this the voice box. It went down and expanded. So both of those things are increasing the vocal tract size, because by going down a bit, the vocal folds being inside, you can imagine it like an elevator. Now there's more space between the bottom there and the like exit point, okay, or like the top
Yeah.
floor, that being our lips, and then also from it expanding, that's further increase for space. So we have those two things making a larger space that the sound is existing in. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
So what's happened is our voice has kind of become more like the guitar instead of the ukulele. So what we're going to do is we're just going to manually raise the larynx. And by doing that, we've reduced, like the elevator, we've gone up a few floors so that now the space between the top floor and where we're at has become smaller. Yeah?
Okay.
So, so that's why we also have quite a few different names for this, because they're all just looking at the same thing from a different lens. So we could call it larynx height, because that's literally what we're moving. We could call it vocal tract size, because we're changing the size of a vocal tract. We could call it perceptual size, because it'll kind of sound smaller or larger. We could call it resonance, because we're changing the way the sound is resonating through the vocal tract. Like we're changing the size of the resonators. Whatever word you prefer, we can use. So just if one of those seems to stick out to you as like, oh, this is most intuitive, we'll use that one. And you can just let me know as we go through. And in the meantime, I'll just bounce between them so you can feel out what makes most sense to you. Okay, cool. So in terms of how to actually do this, what we're going to do is a whispered exercise. First thing I want you to do is I want you to imagine that you're a really big dog, like a Labrador or a German Shepherd, something like that, okay? I want you to pant like a really big dog, all right? Give that a go.
Okay.
Yeah, do you reckon you can get bigger? Like a really like... Yeah, big dog, big dog. Okay, now I want you to pant like a really small dog, okay? Like a Pomeranian or a Chihuahua. Nice. Okay, so we made two different sounds there. Those two different sounds, the way you're producing them, is you're literally just raising up your larynx. Reason for that is when we're making a panting sound, we're essentially whispering. Hi, this is Sarah. This is me talking or whispering over here. Hi, this is Sarah. This is me whispering over here. So we're essentially just whispering. And when we whisper, what happens literally is our vocal folds just stay open. All right? Now, when we make pitch with our vocal folds, that's done by them vibrating, opening and closing.
Yeah.
So if they just stay open, then we can't apply pitch with them. So that sound change you're hearing is actually the vocal tract size changing. So by going for that smaller dog, we're getting that smaller vocal tract size. We're raising our larynx, okay? That brighter resonance. So what I want you to try and do is give me that little dog again, but this time, so do the little dog, or what we'll do the big dog, then do the little dog, then we're just going to do a single stretched out pant. I'll demo this for you. A single stretched out pant where we then start to add some sound halfway through. Okay, so it'll sound like this. Okay, give that a go.
Okay.
This is very difficult, by the way, so you're going to mess it up at first, and we'll work on it. All right, just
Okay.
prepare you for that. Okay. No, that was good. That was good. Okay. Now, another thing I want to add to this. Do you notice how you're going? I'll repeat it. See if you can tell me, yes, the vocal tract size is changing. See if you can notice something about the pants themselves that are changing. Like if you were to spell them out, what changes? How would those be spelled differently if you were to try to write them down?
Well, the way I'm seeing it is like capital letters and then not capital letters, I guess.
Oh, sure. What about?
I guess it's probably not.
What about? I don't know. It's okay. That's a good. That works. What about the spelling itself? Do you reckon the spelling changes?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. What's the spelling for both? If you could like do a whisper as spelled out.
It's more like a. So the big dog is like a HO, and then the small one is a HA.
Yes, exactly. That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so that means there's another change we're doing. So we're also changing when we make words like a, e, when we make those sounds, those vowels, those consonants. The way we do that is your vocal folds produce the sound. It resonates up through the larynx, taking on the shape of the larynx, up into our mouths, where it then starts taking on the shape of a mouth. And as we move that shape around with our tongue, with our teeth, all the different parts of our mouth, it shapes that sound continuously into a finished word. So when our spelling changes a little bit, that's happening because our mouth shape is changing a bit. Now, we don't want to do that for this drill because we want to aim for a larynx shift on its own, just so that you are learning to move this and not try to compensate by using your mouth. Because your mouth is busy, it's doing stuff. So I don't want all of your feminized O's to become A's. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so what we're going to do to make this easier for you is instead of doing pants, we're going to use the word cheese. Okay? Cheese has some advantages because, I know it's a bit silly. Cheese has some advantages because it maximizes the amount that you've changed stuff with your mouth. Like the most feminine or the smallest vocal tract size, the smallest oral size is when you make the E or the A, okay? So by going cheese, you've already made this as small as it can be. All that's left is to do some larynx stuff. So I'm like forcing you into larynx change. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to whisper the word cheese, going from that larger, like a big cheese, like the big dog, small dog, big cheese to little cheese, okay? Cheese, 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 cheese. And then for that phonation test, we're going to do a long cheese and we're going to swap it into phonation, into sound, halfway through, okay? Cheese, 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 cheese. Cheese. Okay? Try that out.
Hang on. Cheese, 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 cheese.
Okay, nice, nice. All right, now we're going to see how small you can get that cheese, okay? I want you to get it as small as you can possibly go, like a really we'll go as big and as small, just to help you like get some movement there. At first, you're not going to get as much movement as me, but as you learn to do this better and as you build up like your dexterity, so we're not building muscle here, we're building dexterity. As you build that control, you're going to go further and further out, okay? Cheese, 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 cheese. And make sure with that last cheese, we start it in a whisper and end it in like speech. Yeah?
Hang on.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Cheese. Hang on. Cheese, 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 cheese.
Nice. We had a little bit of wobbliness there.
Yeah, we had a
We started off as you initially went into phonation. It was a bit brighter, and then it started to drop down as you moved things to where it's more comfortable. So we're going to be in that like weird zone where it's going to sound a bit weird and it's going to feel a bit weird. Okay. When I say a bit weird though, if you experience any tension or strain, do let me know. Okay, because we don't want a physical feeling necessarily. I just more mean this is going to be bizarre for your voice. It's going to be a weird noise.
yeah.
Yeah, and make sure with that when we do the phonation test, we always start it in a whisper because it helps us to bridge that sound into into phonation. Phonation is just like right now I'm phonating, right now I'm not phonating. Yeah, so like normal talking is phonation.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any questions so far?
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. I'm going to up the difficulty level again. Cheeses into the phonation test. And then try to carry that same sound as you tell me about how you prepared. We'll go one dish at a time. How you prepared the first dish.
Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
Cheese, 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 cheese.
Try to start that in a whisper. Cheese. Yeah.
Hang on. Cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So with the Scotch egg, I made the orange chutney, which is sliced onions, sweated down for a really long time. Added sugar and vinegar to make the chutney. And the Scotch eggs, I boiled the eggs, covered them in sausage meat, and then deep fried them until the eggs was runny and the meat was cooked.
Nice, nice. Okay, we haven't got a huge step up from our original, but you stayed very consistent there, which is really good. Most people have two really big drop-offs, one at the phonation test and one when they start talking. You didn't have either of those, so that's really good. That's a huge hurdle that you're not going to have to cross. So let's keep going and see how small we can get this cheese, okay? And then continuing that smallness as we go into the talking. Okay, again, and target just as small of a cheese as you can go. Let's try to get some big cheeses in there as well. Like, we're not having much of the extremes, so let's try to get some really big like cheese. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay, whenever you're ready. The chutney sounds really good. What was the chutney paired with?
Pretty good.
There was something with the chutney as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, a quail Scotch egg.
Ah, okay. Tell me how you prepared the Scotch egg.
Oh, I do the shellfish bisque.
Yeah, also the shellfish bisque. I don't even know what a bisque is, so.
Okay. Yeah. Cheese. Oh, hang on.
That's okay, that's okay. You realised what went wrong? Go ahead and try again.
Yep. Cheese. With the shellfish bisque, a bisque is basically a soup. So I do a small mirepoix, which is onions, celery and carrot, sweated down with tomato puree. Then I added the shells of prawns, sweated that down, deglazed the pan with white wine, and then added a lobster glass stock and reduced that down for 20 minutes, blitz it up, and then pass it through a sieve and serve it in a bowl.
Nice. That sounds lush. Okay, one little note I want to add. I'm worried that we're bringing too high of a pitch in, and there's maybe a conflation between size and pitch. So what I want us to do, if I say do the Mario theme, does that instantly resonate as a tune that you know, like da 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 da? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my go-to with people, because most people would like have that ingrained into their brains.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're going to do, go through the cheeses, go into your phonation test, and then I want a Mario theme, and I want you to try to end it somewhere. No, we'll just go Mario theme first, and then I'll add an addition step back second. So just do that and a Mario theme.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Cheese. Oh, that's not whispering. Cheese.
That's okay. Now what I want us to do is the exact same thing, but, excuse me. What we're going to do is a little Mario theme, but we're going to add some extra notes going down. And the goal is to get to our normal talking pitch, okay? Da 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 da. Yeah? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Alright, so it'll be cheese. Da 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 da. Okay. And then we'll just stick with that for now, whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Okay, nice. That's fine. You fixed the thing that I was trying to get you to fix, and then the Mario thing was no longer necessary, which is why you struggled there. What I'm targeting for us is to separate the size from pitch. So like I'm wanting the difference between like oh instead of or oh. Yeah. So I want the size to be changing. Which you did a really good job there. So did you notice on that one, I don't know if you did it on purpose or not, but you actually entered it at a lower pitch than you had before. Did you notice that?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, so you went like cheese. First you were going cheese. And then you were kind of talking like over here. And this time you went cheese. keys, and then you're kind of talking over here, which is good.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want like a normal talking pitch. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to aim for that ordinary talking pitch, not too high. If you're specifically wanting a higher pitch in the future, we can totally do that. We're just not going to do it at this step, just so you don't get a conflation developing. Okay?
Am I doing the Mario theme again? Or normal?
Let's have a try. So now that you've got a little bit of distinguishing between pitch, because you were moving your pitch there without your size changing at all, which is really, really, really good. So I want to see, if I just tell you, go for that same lower pitch that you just did, I want to see if you're able to do that without needing the Mario theme, because we can skip ahead if you're able to do that. And yeah, why don't you continue to tell me? So you had the bisque with the chutney, sounds lush. Why don't you tell me about dish 2?
All right.
And like how you prepared it and made it.
Yeah.
So just cheeses, and then when you do the phonation test, go at like a normal speaking pitch, like you did in that last one.
Cheese, 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 cheese. So the next dish is a pan-seared fish with a spinach timbal, and a timbal is basically a pancake mix, and I mix that with spinach, and everyone, it tastes really bad. Everyone says it tastes really bad because it's just spinach.
Fair.
With a cream reduction, which is just white wine and cream reduced, and then some steamed mussels as well.
Nice. Okay. Sounds lush. I love mussels. Okay. Do you notice there? I think you noticed it. Did you notice your drop there when you told me about how everybody thinks the spinach was bad? Yeah. So watch out for those. Whenever we have a drop like that, just go straight back into the drill and use your drill to bring you back up. Don't try to fix it on your own. You can fix it on your own down the line, but right now we want to stick to using the drill because that's going to be our most consistent way to bring ourselves back to where we were trying to get to. Okay?
Okay.
Nice. But also, well done for noticing that. One of the hardest things is noticing mistakes. So the fact that you're noticing it is really, really good. Every time you notice a mistake, think of that as an opportunity to make progress. Because every time you correct a mistake, that's you teaching your brain the movement you're trying to do. So you're going to build dexterity every time you make a correction, and you're going to build muscle memory every time you make a correction. Those are the moments where we make progress. Okay, cool. All right. Tell me more about the spinach thing. It can't just be spinach. What did you do with the spinach? Also, spinach is nice. What the heck?
Spinach is nice.
Yes, spinach is nice. That's my go-to vegetable.
Really?
Yeah. If I just want to throw something
Each to
into
their
it,
own,
I'll
I
leave it with
guess.
peppers or spinach.
Okay.
Okay.
Cheese, 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 cheese. So we blanched the spinach until it was wilted down, and we put it in ice water to shock it to stop the cooking process, and then we've weighed out cream and eggs, poured them into a blender together, blitzed them down, and put the mix into buttered moulds, which we put in an oven in a bain-marie, which is a tray with hot water, and they sit in it, and then cut them out of the moulds and serve them on the plate.
Nice. Well, that sounds lush. I have no idea why people complain. That sounds really tasty. It's got like an omelette-y kind of thing going on there.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so any questions about how this is going so far? Any questions about what you're doing so far?
Was that one too high of pitch, or was that fine?
No,
I
the pitch
felt
is
like that
okay.
was a
The
little
pitch is
bit-
okay. Generally, like the pitch can be wherever the pitch is. I'm more wanting to make sure that you're not getting confused between the two sounds. So when I'm going for a lower pitch there, it's not because a lower pitch is necessary or that has anything to do with anything really. It's more just to make sure that when I'm getting you to raise your larynx, you're not also raising pitch at the same time. So like you have that clear understanding of the two. So that once we get really good at raising our larynx, you can then put your pitch just wherever you want to put your pitch. And if you want to put it higher, we can put it higher, absolutely. I'm just making sure you have those as two separate concepts in your mind. Does that make sense? Nice. Yeah. Any other questions?
No, I think I'm all right.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, I think we can get these cheeses way, way smaller. Let's see how small you can get that cheese. Let's just stay in the whisper for a little bit and really push for really big and also really small. Like, let's get some of those extremes going. Smaller. Cheese. That was smaller. Try that again.
I felt a little voice come out though.
Yeah. Try that again though. Okay. Are we feeling any physical sensations as we're doing that?
Not really. Apart from obviously trying to, to make it higher, but.
Okay, nice. Okay, avoid trying to make it higher. Instead, focus on the sound itself. So, when you're doing this, I don't want you to try and control your larynx or anything really. Completely ignore and abandon all physical everything, okay? Put 100% of your focus on just the sound and changing the sound from a cheese, cheese, cheese to a cheese, 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 okay? So fully focus on sound. Reasoning for this is, the biggest reason is just because physically you just don't actually feel it very much. There is a slight feeling to raising your larynx, but it's not very much. Partly because the actual physical movement, this is like your larynx, I guess, has like this as the full available space. So if you think about like a percentage movement, like a large percentage movement is just like that, like that's probably about a 10% movement there. But because this is just a small space, the absolute movement is quite small. So you're only going to be moving your larynx by maybe your index finger's thickness, like about an inch. So you're just not going to feel it super much. As I say, there'll be a slight sensation, but not much. You'll probably feel it more when you go to lower larynx positions, like darker sounds, just because there's a bit more space to move downwards. Excuse me. But generally, you're not going to get a lot of physical sensation here. If you do get physical sensations, excuse me, my throat's going nuts. If you do get lots of physical sensations, those are usually things we're trying to avoid. Because if you're feeling something strongly, you're not meant to be feeling something strongly. So whatever it is you're feeling is something that's coming in that you're not meant to be doing. Think of it as like your brain's a little unsure of exactly what it wants to do. So instead of doing like sniper, like that muscle, it's instead like shotgun spraying, like, you guys, one of them will be right. Yeah? So we're trying to avoid that spray and instead go for a targeted, this is what's going up and nothing else is changing. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so abandon all thoughts of controlling the body. Just listen to the sound. Okay? All right, let's go again.
Cheese, 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 cheese.
Nice. Okay, we'll continue those. And why don't you tell me about our third dish?
Well, so the Scotch egg from earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we had the Scotch
that was
egg
with the chutney.
With the chutney and the bisque.
And then the bisque.
Oh, the bisque was a separate dish. Okay, I'm following now.
And then the fish. So we got the last one, which is duck. Cheese, 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 cheese. So, confit duck leg is when you cover the duck leg in complete duck fat and put it through the oven for like 2 hours, and it renders down and becomes like pulled pork sort of consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And then I rendered out the fat on the duck breast until it was crispy. Cooked that until about 43 degrees. Let it rest, and it comes up to temperature, and it's served pink.
Nice. Okay, this was our best one so far. This was really good compared to where we started. So what I want us to do now, another thing I'm noticing, can we get a little bit more umph in our voice? Like, if I was to give you 2 sample voices, this is what I'm looking for as your target, okay? This is kind of what I'm getting right now, with a very, very gentle, almost on the verge of it being a whisper, okay? So let's get a little bit more umph into our voice, a little bit more, so we can bring this to like a standard kind of timbre, a standard kind of sound, of like normal talking. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, sick. All right, let's go again. The duck confit sounds lovely. What did you serve the duck with? Did it have like a side dish, or was it just because you've got so many dishes here that you don't? Yeah.
Cheese, 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 cheese. So the duck dish was served with a rusty potato, which is basically a hash brown that we deep fry, and it's really crispy. But I've served it as a cylinder. It's like a candle, I guess.
Oh.
And then that also came with the rest of the duck fat from the leg. I used it to confit the very small carrots, and then I steamed some broccoli as well and put that on there.
Nice. That sounds lush. Okay, still could do with a little bit more oomph, but definitely better than where we were before. I noticed we had a bit of a drop there in terms of our size. Things got a bit larger there. The whole thing was larger than where you were before, and there was a little drop off at the end. So let's see if we can balance these 2 things. This is probably going to be the biggest difficulty point for you. Trying to have that bit of oomph, but also keeping things nice and small in terms of the sound and in terms of like what's literally happening. Yeah? Okay, let's go again. Whenever you're ready, try to really maintain. What might help you is slow down the phonation test a bit. So like do it in steps in terms of your thinking. So get yourself up. Cheese, 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 cheese. Then go into your phonation test. Listen to that start of a bit. Try to like think about it and think about what it's going to sound like as you go into phonation. Cheese. Listen to that, and then try to like imagine what that's going to sound like as you go into the talking before actually doing so. So you're sort of mentally prepared for the sound that should be coming next. Yeah?
Okay, yeah.
All right, sounds good. I'm trying to think about what to ask you about next. And how did you have like judges, or like how did this actually function in terms of the examination of it?
Okay. Cheese, 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 cheese. So each course has a linked tutor, and they come in and monitor the whole exam for 5 hours.
Wow.
And then as we serve each plate, they take a picture of it and then taste it with another tutor that comes in to get a second opinion, and then they go through each part of the dish and make an overall grade, I guess.
Nice. Okay, so we had our more typical, like traditional struggles in this one. So as we went into our from the whispers, as we went into that phonation test, we had a little drop as you went into the phonation itself. And then we had a stead. As you went into the phonation test into the talking, that was brilliant. You didn't have any drop there. Really, really, really good. Because that's usually the most difficult bit for people. So well done there. And then it steadily trickled down to about norm by the end of it. Still though, very good. I'm very impressed that you're not having a drop off between the phonation test and the talking. That's usually like the hardest bit for people. So well done with that. Okay, let's keep going. So, focus on that initial phonation test. Really focus on there not being a drop off. So, like, I'm wanting cheese, not cheese. Did you hear that drop there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, really try to focus on minimizing that drop as much as you can. And then, obviously, same thing as you go into the talking. Although you haven't had any drops already, I'm just like warning you ahead of time, just because that is usually the hardest bit for people. And then do your best to keep it consistent as you go. You might not notice yourself trickling down, which is totally fine. As you get better at this, you'll start to notice it better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you had examiners that were there for like 5 hours. That's crazy. Okay, and how were their reactions to trying your dish? Or dishes?
Cheese. So each dish was graded individually, and then the dishes all come together for an overall grade for the final grade. So the Scotch egg, the bisque, and the fish were all distinctions, and then the duck dish itself was a merit because the sauce was split. It still tastes really nice, but the consistency was a bit off, so that was marked down to a merit. So my overall grade was a distinction.
Right, okay. Cool. Well, overall grade of distinction is pretty fucking good. Well done on that. That's really good. Is this the pass merit distinction grading system?
Yeah, referred past merit distinction,
Yeah. Well, first of all, congratulations. Getting a distinction's freaking epic.
Thanks.
That's really cool. Okay, we also had, in terms of that soundbite, you really did a good job ironing out that initial drop. We did still have a steady decline, but it was It was a shallower, like it was less of a decline, if that makes sense. The rate of decline was slower. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, the main thing that I wanted to reflect on there is you really ironed out that initial drop. So that's really, really good. Let's keep going. And this is, by the way, when you go towards your homework, this is your homework. We're just going to keep drilling this over and over and over again. To give you some extra info in terms of what to expect. Excuse me. This is like the hardest thing in feminization for most people. Like getting this right took me about 6 months. So like that gives you an idea of how long this specific thing can take. For most people, it's by far the hardest thing. So just kind of mentally prepare yourself for the fact that this is the hard bit. Okay. And like if you struggle with this and you find that results are inconsistent, that's to be expected. Don't worry about it. Give yourself space to struggle. Okay, let's go again. Cool, you got a freaking distinction on this. How long have you been preparing for dish? How does that work? Do you get to choose your own dishes? How did you decide your dishes if you do choose them? If not, what is the process for you going from them telling you what is what the assignment is to you doing the assignment? Yeah, if that makes sense as a question.
So normally for our normal exams we're given a week before notice, and we have a brief that we have to follow, and it's normally pretty strict. We can't really go off it much, but because this one was 5 hours, we had 3 weeks notice, so the brief was very strict. So we had to make a quail Scotch egg and a chutney, we had to do the bisque, the fish. It's normally just the veg that we can change to go with the dish to make, with the garnish. So, and the sauce we can do differently sometimes, but
okay, bit more of a drop off this time at that phonation test, and then again the steady decline, which is fine. So just watch out for that. When you're doing this in homework, by the way, I want you to be I want you to also record it and listen back to it as part of your homework, just because right now your ear won't be very trained to this sound, so it's going to be really difficult for you to notice when things drop. So do be trying to notice, because that means you can live fix it.
I did notice it with that one a little bit.
Yeah, okay, so whenever you notice it, re-drill, okay? 1 second. Sorry, my boyfriend's in. He was asking me to shut the door.
Sorry.
Yes. So yeah, whenever you notice it, re-drill and be like very attentive with that. Like if you just suspect that it dropped, re-drill. Just to really like drill into your mind that the specific sound that we're changing is that sound of the size. Okay.
Yeah.
Or of the larynx height or whatever, of a resonance, whatever term you want to use. Okay.
Okay.
By the way, as we've been going through this, is there a particular term that you prefer, or are you neutral to all of them?
If I'll be honest, my memory is terrible and I can't remember.
So like resonance is a common one. Just calling it brighter or darker. Size, small, large. Larynx height.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, to be honest, all of them, to be honest, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
I know they all mean the same thing, so...
Yeah, no worries. Vocal tract size is what I tend to use just because it's most intuitive to me. But if you find yourself finding something else more intuitive, do let me know. Because I don't care if we call this Wimbo Wambo. So long as we talk about the same sound change, then I don't care what the term is. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Cool. So you don't get a lot of flexibility. So a lot of the dishes would have been... You're competing against people with similar dishes. And we did really well, which is good. Well done. So how did you prepare for this? I assume it's a lot of practicing, researching,
Oh, yeah.
cooking techniques. Yeah, preparation.
Cheese. So, as I said with the brief, we get normally a week before, but this time 3 weeks before. And we get given a time plan sheet, which we have to make our own time plans for what times we're going to do the prep, and also in our skills lessons, which we have weekly, we go through not each dish, but we go through a selection of dishes, and then in each subject and topic we do one of them.
Yeah, nice. Okay then, so for this one, there was a slight drop off towards the end there, but generally it was actually pretty consistent. There was also a bit of a drop at the phonation test, but it was much less than before. This is definitely one of your better ones today. So, wrapping up in terms of time, main takeaways for today. So, your homework is exactly what we've been doing, exactly what I've had you practicing over and over again. These cheese drills, okay? Big cheese, little cheese. When you're doing homework, watch out for those drops. Redraw anytime you hear it, but there's some acceptance that this is brand new to you. You're probably just not going to hear the drops very often. So also record it so you can look back over your work and be like, oh, there was a drill there that I didn't notice. Good to know. And try to like essentially teach yourself where those drops are so you know to listen for it. Okay, and you can start building that ear training. Okay.
I did this week with the. I know you don't like the Voice Tools app, but with the recording, I did the recording and reading a paragraph, and I would then listen to that back.
Yeah, that's totally fine. So long as you ignore the gendering, then that's totally fine.
Yeah.
It's not that Voice Tools is a bad app. It's that it adds things
Only
that it shouldn't add. Basically, it only covers your pitch in terms of gendering. It should just not have that gendering. In terms of just an app you can use to record your voice and quickly play it back again, yeah, it's useful for that for sure. Like I like that it has a thing where I can just be talking and then in a single press it can replay the last 10 seconds of sound. That's pretty cool. So yeah, like it's definitely got its utility. It has analysis which it shouldn't have. So yeah, that's totally fine. I will say though, make sure in our practice, I don't mind some reading, but I really want the main of our practice to be just talking off the cuff, because you're going to get much better progress from just talking than you are from reading. Mainly because like you have a reading voice. If I start reading out, I have nothing that I can read from. We can go from whatever's on this Dr. Pepper bottle. When I'm reading, I'll go for something like sparkling fruit flavoured soft drink with sugar and sweeteners. Ingredients: carbonated water, sugar, colour, caramel E150D. You can hear there's a different kind of intonation there. I'm talking like this, and then I'm talking
definitely.
like this. And this is kind of a way that I talk when I'm reading. Whereas like now it's much more free flowing. It's just a very different speech pattern. So we want your ordinary conversational speech to be the thing that we're training, because it's most it like imprints itself onto everything else, because it's sort of more your base voice. Yeah. Any questions so far?
With like practicing like talking, like doing this drill, is it
Yeah.
is it good to practice like a long time? So
Same as
like
before.
just like
Little and often.
okay.
Yeah. If it's something that you're trying to like figure out or like learn to do, then that can be more of a sit down thing. But you've got these lessons with me where that is that sit down thing. So you
Yeah.
shouldn't necessarily need that in your actual practice time, because you have these actual lessons to serve as that. For the people at home, you might have that as something that you do sometimes where you're trying to learn, like you're doing what we've just done this lesson and you're trying to figure that out. So you might spend an hour or so doing that in substitute for an actual lesson. But when you're getting lessons, you have that and you have me helping you do that. So you shouldn't need that too much. So yeah, just same as before, little and often. A few minutes, as many times as a day as you can fit in. I would say minimum 2. If you can get it to 3 or 4, that would be like really good. Based off of how well you did with weight, I suspect that you're probably pretty good at practicing. Cool. Something else I wanted to say, I don't remember what it was. When you're in training, the 2 things I want you to watch out for is 1, ironing out those dips and wobbles and stuff, and whenever we drop off, that's going to take a lot of time. But that is going to be the one focus, and the other focus, again, that's going to take time, is building that dexterity and trying to get as small and as large as possible to really build up that range. Because right now, we're not in like, we're kind of in this kind of a range, whereas I want like this kind of a range. Okay, we're not really hitting those extremes very much. So try to like really, as low as you can go, or as dark as you can go, as large as you can go, and as small or as bright as you can go. Okay, really, if we want to go to the absolute most extreme, this is going to be the absolute most extreme. Jeez. Really, really extreme smallness. Okay, I don't necessarily need you to get that far, but certainly like there's the limits of where you could in theory go. So we want to get as small as we can go. Okay. All right, sick. Okay, so in terms of our next lesson together, should I just throw you in for 2 weeks' time again?
Okay.
Was that yeah? Sorry, your sound cut out for a moment.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
my Wi-Fi's cut out and it says I have no Wi-Fi, but
Oh, okay.
I'm still on here.
Yeah, you're still good now. I think you broke for a moment and then you seem to be okay. Yeah, so I was just saying in terms of your
my
next
computer's
lesson,
still running.
I can just throw you in for a couple of weeks if you're available, or
1 second.
so 2 weeks' time would be the 3rd of June. Actually, I would need it to be a little bit earlier if it's on the 3rd of June, or it would need to be later, because I have an appointment at...
Can you do the Monday?
Yeah,
the
Monday's much easier for me, if that works for you.
Yeah, yeah, whenever you want to start it, I guess.
Yeah, I can do any time
I'm not too fast on that one.
Monday, so long as it's between... We're both British times, aren't we? So between 1 and 5 o'clock, any time on Monday, you can have a choice.
Yeah, we can do 2 again.
Yeah, 2 o'clock, sounds good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay then, well, I will see you on the 2nd of June then, at 2 o'clock. All right?
Yeah,
Fab. Okay, keep
Right.
practicing. You got this.
thanks.
Alrighty then.
Bye.
All right, bye. Okay, for everybody in the Discords right now, we're going to be heading over to the YouTube. So youtube.com/@trans_network. And while you all do that, I'm going to go to the toilet and I'll be back over at the YouTube side. Cool. Okay. Ending the stage. See you guys soon. Bye. Fab. Okay. Hello, YouTube. I will be right back as I go to the toilet. And we'll just let this go over to this one. Okay. See you in a sec. Hello, hello, hello. I return. Okay, let's get some music going. And then we'll talk to chat for a little bit. Okie dokie. Over there, and... Okay, there we go. And I'll turn it way down for myself as well. Can you guys hear that okay? Wait. Yeah, can you guys hear that okay? Because it's showing on my end that you're not hearing anything. And I'm not sure why that is. Oh, yeah, no worries, Soul Strings. I'll download it soon. What's all this about? Dog panting. I will... Okay, yes. Do you guys have any questions about what we've just been going over in that lesson? I'll talk about it. You can't hear the music. Why can't you hear it? Oh, there we go. I guess I just had it too quiet. Okay. If you guys want me to change the volume, let me know. Yes, so the idea was essentially Big Dog, Little Dog is like an introductory way to look at vocal tract size. So when we do the Big Dog, Little Dog, that takes us into an easy way of going into the drill. And then we go for like the more advanced version, which is the cheeses. You put on my leg, what the hell? Okay, let's have a little look at chat, because you guys have been active in chat. My goodness. Also, hello everybody. Trans women panting like dogs. What kind of stream is this? I know, right? Completely normal. Oh my gosh, puppy girls all the way down. I hate you. I hate you all. Oh my gosh, Mel, you're horrendous. Because your mouth is busy. Phrasing. Ridiculous. I know, didn't that sound so nice with a spinach? Adverts? What do you mean adverts? You. It's what I get for clicking on the playlist instead of clicking on the big long one. Ah, big long one. There we go. Less ads. Sorry, Soul Strings. Less ads for you. Wait, that's what we just... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Mel, I saw... Okay, I haven't been able to respond to you in your ticket yet, but I saw you had, like, a wild night. Oh my gosh, you drank so much. How are you feeling? I should also sort things because I'm looking over here to look at chat, but like I should be looking here. If I just move this like over here, then chat will be in a way where I'm like looking at chat properly. I guess I'll put it like there. Yeah, that'll do. You know to monetize your channel. I mean, hey, this seems monetized. Like I had ads playing, so seems like you have monetization turned on. You might not be getting a ton yet, but that will just come with more views. Where am I trying to get this? Yeah, there. That's all right. Yeah, so with that lesson, it was basically that's sort of how I introduce people to vocal tract size, into whatever we want to call it, larynx height, resonance, whatever. That is sort of how I introduce people into it. We'll start off with like that big dog, little dog, just to give them something intuitive to experiment with. Because if I try to like say like, give me like a small sounding cheese whisper, that doesn't mean anything to you. But if I say pant like a small dog, that means something to you. So we then take that into the idea of, well, that's kind of a whisper. What if we whispered a word? And that as a sort of way to introduce people to it. Which, yeah, it seemed like Angelic took to it quite nicely. And obviously in time, Angelic will get more dexterity with this and can get to brighter areas. So instead of kind of sounding like over here, she can start going all the way up to over here. Yeah. Utilising mechanics of how people learn speech to teach, which is good. Yeah, absolutely. A large part of how you learn. So, like, you remember me talking to Angelic earlier about how, I want her to try to control it using the sound rather than trying to control her body, and that's largely because, like, in terms of how humans interact with their body and how they learn to make sound, you don't learn by trying to control your body. Like when you're a baby, you're not like trying to figure out how to move around your vocal folds and stuff. You're just kind of making sounds and seeing how people react to those sounds. And that's how you build up like language. It's how you build up just the capacity to talk, and all of that, just through experimentation, essentially. So what we're doing by focusing on the sound is we're kind of just through experimentation, and with me guiding that experimentation, we're like, see how small we can get that cheese. And then Angelic experiments with that. That sort of, I'm tapping into that like instinctive understanding of how to learn voice and using it to try and like efficiently have the student learn. Yeah, that's sort of my approach with these sorts of things. Oh, ads play regardless of monetization. I didn't know that. Doesn't matter if your channel is eligible for monetization. Interesting. So does that mean people get ads on my stuff and I don't even get anything for it? That sucks. I'm against ad blocks personally, because like for those people that do have monetization, I don't want them to lose out on that monetization because I have an ad block. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Support me through Ko-fi. Can I even... Do we have that? Please look up Alibi. Is that a platform or is that a song? Alibi. That's a dog. It is a cute-ass dog. Is that what we're going for? A doggy dog? Yo. Okay, hold up. I need to show you guys this dog. It is a big dog. Screen share. Also, let's do a little... Whoop. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. You can see all the stuff I've been researching. Lamau. I got so much open. Why do I have so much open? Ugh. Okay, this is a cute-ass dog. As well as a cute-ass background. I've been doing like a whole bunch of backgrounds. How fucking nice is that background? Oh my gosh. That's such a lush wallpaper. Yo, this is a good-ass dog. Asian Shepherd. Look how wrinkly he is. I love a wrinkly dog. Wrinkly puppies. Wrinkly puppies are the best. I love me a wrinkly puppy. Also, do I not have exclamation mark Kofi? What are my commands? Oh, it's code -fi. Maybe I'll do both. There you go. Yeah, maybe I should make both of those. They can be the same thing. Oh, look at that one! Oh my gosh, look at him! Oh! Okay, wait. I love these puppies. They seem to look very different. Like, there's ones that are looking like this, a little more Labrador-y. But then there's also ones that are looking like this big lad, which is much more like bulldoggy. Oh, they're like a bulldog version of my Luna. That's what I'm seeing in this dog. You have a Cloud already? Yeah, true, true. I don't know where my Cloud is right now. She's probably downstairs with my boyfriend. Or maybe cuddling on a bed. Puppies are Labrador sized. No way. You're telling me this is a Labrador sized dog? I need something for scale. Where are my bananas for scale? That is a big fluffer if that's a puppy. Or if that puppy is Labrador sized. I'll buy puppy. Oh, that's a big pupper. That is like an entire human torso. Look at them. Look at those. Oh my god. Hold up, you DM. Sure. Let me do a little something with a something there. And then I can do this. And apparently I didn't need to do a something there. That. And then that. Don't show on stream? No problem. But that is a cute ass doggo. That is a great doggo. Stream, I wish you could see what I'm looking at right now. That's your sister holding it with doggo? Hells yeah. I wish I could show you more of like us lifting up Luna when she was little. I'll see if I've got anything. Hang on, can I open my pictures? What screen will my pictures open on? Aha, for wrong screen. Okay, over here. Boo. Okay, let me see if I've got any Luna photos on here with us holding her. For scale. No. Okay, hang on. Let me go find my baby Luna photos. If I go into my drive. Shared with me. Where's our Luna folder? I think we reorganized our Luna photos recently, so I'm not quite sure where they are anymore. Ooh, I'm not sure I do still have this available to me. Okay, I don't know where our puppy photos are stored anymore. Robin's in charge of that. Okay, never mind. You will have to see Luna photos another time. Oh, he's a big boy. I love me some big puppers. Hang on, I'll see if I can show you. I have no idea if I can just put my webcam on. I have no idea if I can put my phone in front of my webcam and have it actually be visible, but we'll see. Okay, let me get some. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is going to be me pre-everything. Let me. Oh, I know which photo I want to show you guys. Do I still have the photo? When we first brought her home. Oh, it might not be on my phone. Okay, obviously this is me pre-everything, but can you see? Yeah, you can see. There's my little Luna when she was a little pupper. This is like a few days. It's not focusing right. That's like a few days after bringing her home. It's not really focusing very well. I don't know if I can get it to focus better. It's focusing on me. Don't focus on me. Focus on the phone. Okay, I don't know how to get it to focus on the phone, but you can kind of see her. She's tiny. Yep. She got big real quick, though. What else we got? Oh, this was a good one. Okay. What's happening? This is so confusing for me. There. What's happening in this photo is I am laid on the sofa because she woke me up like really early in the morning. Yeah, don't dox myself. She woke me up really early in the morning, like 5 a.m. or something. So I just went down with a blanket, laid on a sofa, picked her up, put her next to me, and she just cuddled into me. And we had a little cuddle and went to sleep together to get like an extra hour or two. So that was her just snuggling into me. So the brown is the blanket and me next to her. Yeah, it's real cute. Oh, the maroon or red there next to her face. I don't know how well you can see it. Like there, this area here, this like darker area is my dressing gown. So that's like my arm there. You can slightly see my finger like stroking her head. It's very cute. Let you know when you download those 2 packs. Yeah, I'll do that after the stream. I'll send you a message as well. Yeah, we got a good ass cloud. Do I have any other super cute photos? Oh, this was moments later. Oh my gosh, she was so small back here. Snuggled her head onto me. Heck yeah. Oh, I got so many good photos. We should do more Luna photos. We should do more Luna streams. What else do I got? Oh, and then we enter her teenage phase. I'm just looking for a teenage photo without other people in it. Hang on. Oh, yeah, this is what we want. There's her teenage phase. Oh, you can't see it very well. Focus. People that know about cameras, how do I get this thing to focus on what I want it to focus on? You can kind of see her. She's looking a little bit foxy. This is her, like, her teenage phase was her fox phase. Like, she just looked like a fox. And this was after she'd had a wash. Had a little wash. Stop having such shaky hands. Sorry. This is her. There you go. Okay. This is her after having had a little wash. You are absolutely not stealing her. Do I have directly after that wash? She looked like a rat. No, I don't think I do. It's a shame. Oh, there's so many good photos. And then, yeah, we get to her looking like she does now as an adult dog. Adult dog Luna. Hells yeah. Floofy cloud. I should show you people her boyfriend. So Luna has a boyfriend. He's one of the other Samoyeds that live near us. And he's called Jackson. So we met Jackson just because they live near us, so we bumped into each other a few times in a row on walks. And so from there, we sort of got chatting with the owners and started going on like actually planned walks together. And then from there, we just started hanging out more. And now they're like friends of ours. And they are both canonically dating, Luna and Jackson. Can I find any of the photos though? There's one particular one I'm looking for. Actually, if I go to her Instagram, or no, I think. Okay, I know where to find this photo. Hang on. Hang on. There we go. There we go. So Luna's at the bottom and Jackson's at the top. It's not focusing. Oh, it's so sad. It's such a good photo. Well, you can get that outlines at least. Yes, my dog absolutely has a boyfriend. Why won't it focus? Does anybody know how I can make this focus? Oh well. Hells yeah. Love me some doggos. It's a shame. We were gonna breed them. Have some little pupperinos going on. But unfortunately, she has a lot of health problems. And so we ended up having to get her spayed. So that means basically a doggy hysterectomy. Because she, one, was having a lot of health issues in general, so it wouldn't really be ethical to breed. But two, she was having some juvenile vaginitis, which was causing issues. She had a lot of, excuse me. She was getting constant infections, like yeast infections and stuff. If your camera doesn't have autofocus, it's not going to work. I think it does. Like I don't manually focus it, so I assume it autofocuses. Like it is just a USB plug in and go, so I assume that means it must have an autofocus. Unless it just has like a set, it assumes you're about this distance away, and so it's set to have that focus level. Like maybe if I just go, yeah, my hand just ends up slowly out of focus, so it probably just has a built-in focus of around here-ish. But yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, so she has a bunch of health problems. And also when she had her first season, she had I think she had a phantom pregnancy, if I remember rightly. Yeah, because she'd started to get a little bit of lactation happening. So she had a little phantom pregnancy, not a serious one. It really wasn't a big deal. The thing that was more of a big deal is she stopped eating. Like we had to like literally feed her by hand to try and get her to eat, and like smother her food in peanut butter and stuff to try and get her to eat, because she just wasn't eating at all. She'd have like maybe a third of a day's worth of food a day, and with us brought it up to about a portion to 3/4 of a portion. So yeah, she just wasn't eating, which was like, and that was for like 6 months that she was barely eating. She lost a little bit of weight during that time. So we ended up taking the decision to get her spayed, so that she, one, because if she had a pregnancy on the first season, but it's a good chance she'll have it every single season. Which, while this one was fine, they can be quite serious for dogs, and they can be like very like serious. So for that, as well as just the lack of eating, we decided, we decided to just say, you know what, we'll not do. We decided that yes, have her spayed, and no puppies, unfortunately. And then on top of that, Jackson also has a whole bunch of health issues of his own, and they don't even fully understand, even now, they don't understand fully what it was. Just something to do with him having very extreme autoimmune issues. So yeah, there was so many reasons why. One, that we couldn't breed her, and then we'd love to breed her Jackson, and I'm pretty sure their owners, his owners, would like be all down for that. But unfortunately, there's just no way. Like on both ends, it just wouldn't be ethical to do so. So hey ho, but we still enjoy having her. So, but she'd have made really cute puppies. Her and Jackson would make the cutest fucking puppies. Usually you need to download software for the webcam to control it, like autofocus, balance, exposure. I would guess if it isn't something that's already built in, like I assume you need some hardware to make that work. So I assume if it doesn't have anything already there, then it probably can't change its focus. That would be my guess. And so software would just be like balance, like color balance. I don't know about exposure. It could probably do stuff with like blurring out the background and stuff, which would make it seem like the foreground was less blurred. I don't know. But I also don't really know much about cameras. I know I need to do some stuff with I think the color balance is actually pretty good, but I should probably do some stuff to improve it, because I know that one can do that through OBS. Like OBS does allow you to do a lot of balance and stuff. But yeah. I really love this track by Soul Strings. It's very fun. Oh yeah, I should let you guys see some more of... That is not what I meant to do. Sorry, hang on. I thought that was the other window. If it had the music. Okay, never mind, let me bring back music. Hang on. I am so sorry that I just did that. Hold on. Okay, music's coming back. It's okay. There you go. Whoa, sorry. There you go. Okay, check out some of these wallpapers that I've been doing. So we got this one. You've seen this one before. But we also have... Let's just do some nexts. That one, you've seen that one before. Do that. Yeah, this is a cool one that I just added. I really like this one. Got like some sort of atmospheric-y, chill kind of things. I think that's what I'm going for with a thing. Also look up Karaka-chan dogs. Karaka-chan. Wow, that is a good dog. Bulgarian Shepherd. They remind me of those, is it like Burmese mountain dogs or something? That is also a good ass dog. Fluffy big dogs, it's where it's at. It's where it's at. And dogs that like look like a dog, you know? Like, you can really see it in this picture here. With like snoots, like that's a proper snoot, you know? None of this like small dogs who've got a bunch of noses and stuff. I hate that. Give me a dog that looks like a dog. That looks like a dog, you know? Mel says she needs to find a wife. So chat, I'm trusting you guys to be on that. Help Mel find a wife, please. Apparently everybody in my Discord dates each other, especially if they're German. So check for Discord. People use it as a dating app. What a way to plug my Discord, dude. It's full plug. Do I even have that as a command? Do I not have that as a command? That's like an important command. I should have that. Yeah, we do have it as a command. Is it just being slow? It's just being slow. Yo, do it. Do it. Pomeranians, okay. I enjoy Pomeranians, but like, they're not a dog, you know? Oh, there was a particular, what was the mix? It was it was like a tri-breed of Pomeranian. What do you do for crossbreeds? Is it just like Pomeranian cross? Yeah, this is how you do it. What was the other thing it was with? Oh, it was Maltese. Yes, that's what it was. This is clearly like an established thing. Yes. There is a crazy name for this thing. Okay, this is the only one that looks like the dog that I knew. Oh my gosh. What was her name? That's what she looked like. Super fluffy. Super soft. Looks like a dog, just smaller. Because like to some extent there is a bunched up nose there, but there is a bit of a, there is a noticeable snoot. This dog is so fucking cute. Like, oh my god, this dog is cute. It's okay to be trans in Germany and like here, so it makes sense. It's relatively easier to find someone if you live in a relatively normal country. Yeah, I mean, I've heard from Ven that it is still difficult amongst, like, it sounds like the politics in Germany are a bit safe towards trans people, but like the culture isn't necessarily there yet. Especially if you live somewhere that's a bit more rural. Like people seem to have a more rural mindset in Germany, just from what the other trans chicks in our community have told me. But yeah. Yeah, these dogs are super freaking cute. Yeah. It's that like super fluffiness that comes from the Pomeranian side. But having it like tempered out so that it looks like long hairs, you know? I love that shit. Hells yeah. I think that's the Maltese side, giving them the longer hair. What is a Maltese dog? Oh, they're these. Okay. Okay, these are what Maltese dogs are. I like knew them, just not by name. I think Ollie, the dog that I know, is a Maltese dog. It also sounds weird to call them just a Maltese. Like, that sounds like it's a place. I'm pretty sure Maltese is a place, like Malta. It's like just calling it a German. Not a German Shepherd, just a German. Tis a tiny, yeah, they're tiny dogs. I think these are some particularly small Maltesers, to be fair. But yeah, these are tiny. Maybe Ollie's not a Maltese, actually. Because he's not quite tiny enough. And he's a bit curlier haired. I do know these dogs, though. They're a good dog. I mean, all dogs are good dogs. Yeah, exactly. It's where they're from. But, like, you would normally have, like, a Maltese Shepherd or a Maltese Fist or a Maltese Fat. You don't just call it a Maltese. Like, you don't have, like, a German. Or you don't have, like, a Hungarian. Like, you don't... That sounds like you're talking about a person, not a dog. A breed of dog. You're more of a cat person? I mean, that's valid. I like cats too. I don't think I have any pictures of my old cats that I could show you. I was raised with cats, but I've always liked dogs as well. We were originally wanting to get a couple of dogs and a rescue cat, but after getting Luna, we were like, oh, okay, we're not getting more than one animal, because Luna is like a lot. I'm less picky with cats as well. It would just be like, cat. I don't care about breed or whatever. Although that said, we did want a specific breed. It was oh, what's it called? Oh, how's the breed name of this cat leaving me? It's like my favourite breed. Yes, that's exactly what it is, Mel. Thank you, Maine Coon. That's not how you spell it, but you tried and it was good enough for me. Yes, Maine Coon, that's what we want to get. Look at that. That's a cat. That's a majestic motherfucker of a cat. That's a bit... Okay, they're usually not this big. This is the biggest. That's quite a big Maine Coon. Look at these majestic motherfuckers. Hells yeah. Yeah, Maine Coon. That's what we want to get. It's a lot of cat for a cat. Hells yeah. Look at how grumpy he is. That's a Maine Coon. Yeah, because there was so there used to be a cat cafe in Manchester, and they had a Maine Coon called Aslan. Oh, don't do this again. If I Google something, if there's a place, it'll dox me. So turn that off. Manchester cat cafe, Aslan. It shouldn't dox me on it. Okay, no, it's totally fine. Yeah, Aslan. Here's why we wanted to get a Maine Coon, because Aslan is a fucking beast. Look at this boy. Excuse me. Look at him. That is majesty. That is a majestic fucking cat. Manel's the best cat. Yes, Manel's the best cat. Maine Coon. It's spelled... You can see it on screen. Oh no, you can't anymore. Maine Coon. Oh wait, is Manel's a separate kind of cat? Is that what you're telling me? It is a separate kind of cat. Okay. I don't think that is a pet cat. I'm just... Vibes alone. I don't think that's a pet. That's a... Well, no, I don't think... Yep, yeah, it is this way. I don't think that's a cat. Or I don't think that's a pet cat. That is too grumpy of a cat for me to think that is a pet. Absolutely not a pet. Yeah, that was my figuring. That is a hunting stance right there. I like how one of the things is just angry. That is an angry cat. Look at that cat. That is an angry cat if I ever saw one. Your friend has two. Has two Manel cats? Really? It did say domesticated over here, didn't it? No, I want you to come off of this. Domesticated. Palace cat. I feel like I've heard of it. It must have been on a documentary that I've seen. I feel like this cannot be a pet. Those are definitely a different kind of cat. They are a good cat though. I'll grant you. Very good cat. A little bit of an angry cat, but very good cat. Very good cat. Hybrid? What are you hybridizing with? Sand cat is something I keep seeing. So I guess this is a sand cat mixed with a Manel cat. Oh, so these are like crosses. Fair. What is that? That looks like a freaking koala. Yo. World's slowest to update chat. What? I don't know if that's probably chat being slow. Whoa. Wait, this fucking... What does this Manel cat hunt? You got me on Manel cats now. Manel cat. Is this like a big thing hunting thing? What do you hunt? I just want a quick... Ugh. Okay, I'll click on the link. What do you hunt? What do you hunt? Was that big drawing of you and a bird realistic, or... Don't care about the taxonomy or the phylogenealogy. Characteristics, possibly. What do you know? Those are like physical. Distribution, habitat, maybe. Shrublands, makes sense. What do you hunt? What do you hunt? Oh, I blocked out your message. Oh, your friend has two Maine Coons. Okay, that makes sense. My friend has two Maine Coons, actually. I love Maine Coons. Yeah, I'd like to get one day, but like with Luna, it's just, yeah. You just don't know how that would go. Especially because Luna's like a really playful dog. Behaviour and ecology. That sounds like something we're there we go. Hunting and diet. Small mammals. Okay, that sounds more realistic. Okay, small mammals. Valid. And insects. Fair. Let's get Maine Coons on the screen again. Hell yeah. Look at that cat. Look at that cat. That's a fucking cool ass cat. Yeah, it'd be cool to get a Maine Coon one day. It's just hard to know how that would go with Luna. Yeah, I could have control left it, but 6-7 second delay. Fair enough. It'll be small mammals and birds. Yeah, I was just like, how big are birds, you know? But yeah, it doesn't sound like much for birds. It's just small mammals. BRB, okay, see you soon, Soul Strings. Put some Maine Coons out at night. That is so sad. Why? For a cat, you don't need to put them out at night. Wait, does he not have a cat flap? I'm very confused about your friend. Yeah, does your friend not have a cat flap? Because that is a... Excuse me. That's an interesting life decision, to not have a cat flap. We want a dog flap one day. I don't know if you can do that. I mean, I feel like you must be able to do that. But if I type in... I'll be careful about typing this in. If I type in dog flap. Yeah, you can get dog flaps. We're so getting a dog flap at some point. They're not even that expensive. I guess you'd need a new door for it though, because we live in a rental. So we'd have to get like our dog flap door and then just change them out every time we do the thing. Every time we move house, sorry. Dark Souls wallpaper, hells yeah. I'm like mega into Dark Souls. I freaking still working on a deathless challenge. So my furthest streak deathless has been getting to finishing Anor Londo and moving on to the boss to the Lord Souls, where first Lord Soul I tried was basically I'm thinking do the hardest first. So I'm going straight for Better Chaos first, which I haven't been able to beat yet, deathless. That's where we're at so far. Oh yeah? Oh, we can talk Dark Souls next time. Okay, Mel, I'm making a note of that. Made a HRT timeline? Awesome. I'll check that out later. We live in a Scottish village, so it's like easy to steal his expensive pedigree cats. Oh, okay, sure. That makes sense, I suppose. So you can't have a cat flap because people will legit just steal the cats. That sucks. That's really shitty. You have a cat flap for your 2 cats. They get locked in at night. But come and go during the day. Yeah, I think that's how most people do it. Like when we've had cats in the past, that's how we've done it. But when I was a kid, we didn't have like expensive cats. We just had, so we had a tortoise shell, which of course was female. Let's see if we can get one that looked like Ruby. Yeah, kind of looking like this cat. So that was Ruby. Before Ruby, we had a cat that I named Pikachu, who, I mean, to look at it, like, the tortoise shell. But obviously that can't be possible because tortoise shells are all female. Because it's part of the some particular gene that has them there. Like it's a mutation to be a tortoise shell. and only females can have that mutation because of the X chromosome. That's where the mutation is. And then we also had, I don't know what you call these, round stripy cat. What are they actually called? Yeah, these cats. Oh, it's a tabby cat, obviously. Duh. Then we had a tabby cat called Tigger, who was older than me, like in human years. Like my dad got Tigger before I was born, so he was a couple of years older than me. And he lived a really long time. So he was, I think like 18 when he passed away. Yeah, so he was there like most of my life. Yeah, just like this. Tigger was cool as fuck. Yeah. What was Pikachu's breed? I don't know. I was too young to really know when we had Pikachu. Yeah, so I was raised with cats. And then we got Border Collie. We got two actually. We got two Border Collies. Hells yeah. We got Naya and Nanook, who were two from the same litter, which we didn't know you're not supposed to do that. Two from the same litter, brother and sister, and they did not get on. So we had Naya, who just looked like a traditional Border Collie. Yeah, Naya looked like this. This is what Naya looked like. That's a little bit more looking like Naya's mum, but yeah, that's what Naya looked like. And then Nanook was just totally white. Except none of these actually look like him. He wasn't totally white. He was like mostly white. He had a white face. Okay, none of these quite look like Nanook. But yeah, Nanook and Naya really didn't get on at all. And Naya has epilepsy, or had epilepsy. So it was Nanook we had to get rid of because like we kept the one that had the health issues because it's like a lot harder to sell. But yeah, those are, so we got those when I was like 14ish, I think. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that's the history of my pets. And we had stick insects at one point. And we had so we had stick insects for a bit, and we had a Komodo dragon for a really brief time. But he passed away pretty early on. So yeah, that's puppers. That's all the puppers I had. We had the reptile pupper, we had the feline puppers, and we had the insect puppers. Oh, I just thought I should totally do a raffle for you guys. Raffle, we'll do a 150. I switch back join to join a raffle. I feel like I should add some instructions for how the raffle works. No, it says type join to join because everybody types in raffle. I don't know why everybody gets confused by it. Hey, Codsworthy, congrats. You can check your points with exclamation mark points. Also, lol, Codsworthy, 69 points. With 0 at the end, but that doesn't count. Ignore the fact that I have a ridiculous amount of points. Yo, chatbot, saying the shit right as we're on topic on it. That's coming up soon. Yeah, next Wednesday. Giveaway happening soon, peeps. Make sure you got your points in time. I need to make a big announcement for that actually. I think I'm gonna do like a big stream. Like what have I got booked in for? I should not be bringing up my calendar and stuff, and I can't even do it on that. Yeah, let's see what I got on the calendar for that day. How long can the stream be? Ooh, nothing's booked in yet. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we might just do like a big, like, I don't know, like a 12-hour stream or something. We'll do something big and long, so people have like every opportunity to enter themselves into the giveaway. Yeah, I think that's going to be the best way to do it. Do a big 12-hour stream. I might do like a bonus workshop. Yeah, we'll do something like that. Big 12-hour stream. We'll do like a bonus workshop just because why not? Maybe play some video games. I should really plan for it, eh? I should think about like what am I doing? I suppose if I can get the D&D stuff ready by then we could do that. I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to see what the content will actually be for the stream. I have been wanting to do a like Zara's office day where we start like we do like a big 12-hour stream. I set myself up in all the Discords and we just do like a drop-in sessions. So it will just be 12 hours where we'll have like a planned like a couple of workshops maybe, and then in between workshops like I'll be in all the different Discords and people can just drop in and get like a little lesson. Just as like a little one-time like drop-in thing. I think that would work for content. And like, I guess it would be the difficulty of what do we do if there's nobody dropping in at the time. But maybe we can just chat for that. Maybe we can just play some games and it can just be chill. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because this is to make it entertaining for you guys as well, while also just having me streaming for long enough so that everybody can come in and spend their points. I think that's something though. That's something we can do stuff with. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I think that's a plan. Okay, I'll be real. I'm just shooting a shit with you guys right now. I actually have no plan for stream today. We're doing pretty good. We're coming to 4 o'clock now. We might wrap up soon. What have we got coming up? I'll have to hide this again. Let's just go over to a just chatting screen. Yeah, what have we got coming up on the calendar? So, what the hell? Calendar. Yeah, so obviously on... Bring chat back up. On Saturday, we have the workshop, as usual. We've also got a lesson with Lismara tomorrow. That's tomorrow, 1 p.m. BST. So, yeah, 1 o'clock tomorrow for a lesson. And then for workshop on Saturday at the usual time. And then nothing for Monday 26th, 27th, so next Tuesday. We have our lessons with... it's just for the Jaden lesson, for the public lessons there. And then 28th will be the big day. So there's sort of the upcoming plan. We also want to do... When does the... totally off topic. When does that the EHRC proper guidelines come out? EHRC trans guidelines. Interim update. Yep, but when does a full update come out? Because I want to check that out when it comes out. Because they have to flesh this out more. The toilet thing just doesn't make sense. So I know they have a date for this. Or at least like a window that they'd said. But I don't remember when it was. And I can't find it. Check their statement on it. I suppose I can let you guys see this. Let's take you over to here. And then you guys can see it again. Okay. Yeah, when does the proper update come out? Boo, 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 boo. I don't see it anywhere. I'm sure, I know for certain that before it did say when the proper update would come out. Yeah, I'm not sure. EHRC. I guess, yeah, let's go back to interim guidance. And then from there, it must be on this page, man. Because I want to do a stream on that when it comes out. Because we've been following it up to this point, and it is good to know. You know? Like, this is quite important for people in the UK. Maybe they've taken down what they said when the full update is coming out, which is interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I don't see anything telling me when. I'll work to update our guidance. Okay, maybe it's a. We aim to provide data code practice. Oh, by the end of June. There you go. By the end of June. Okay, so we've got a while yet. Currently reviewing sections of the draft code of practice, which needs updating. Consultation will be launched mid-May, nowish, and lasts for 2 weeks. Okay, so we should have something at the start of June, and then we should have another something at the end of June. Or by the end of June. So yeah, I'll probably have a stream on that when it comes up. Let's get our music back going. Yeah. Oh my gosh, my thing hasn't been auto-scrolling. So I've just been, it's like chat has been empty all of a sudden. But you have been typing and I've just not seen any of it. You got a study for your English midterm? I don't know why chat did that. That's so weird. You got a study for your English midterm tomorrow, since apparently your English vernacular isn't good enough for your English teacher. Fair enough. EHRC has opened up for submitting opinions. Oh, wait, so we can do that? Wait, what? Hold on. EHRC. I hope that means that just general public can do that. Open up submitting opinions. So if I just put in submit opinion. Dates and arrangements. Yo! Okay, let's read this out. Also, the MPs debated one of the petitions yesterday. Oh, I didn't know that. And they were really positive. Saying the Conservative didn't take part. Hate when mother keeps misgendering you. Yeah, that sucks. Okay, let's have a little look through this. Because this is very interesting to me. As someone who is like affected by this. Okay, on 25th of April, the Equality and Human Rights Commission announced that it would undertake a public consultation on updates made to its statutory code of practice for services, public functions and associations, following the Supreme Court's judgment in Women Scotland, for Women Scotland versus Scottish Ministers. In light of the level of public interest as well as representation from stakeholders in Parliament and civil society, the consultation period has been extended. The following arrangements have now been confirmed. The consultation will aim to launch 19th of May, yesterday, and close on 30th of June 2025. The consultation will focus on sections of a code of practice that required updating following the Supreme Court's judgment. A draft of a full code of practice was consulted on between October 2024 and January 2025. The consultation will seek views on whether these updates clearly articulate the practical implications of a judgment and enable those who will use the code to understand and comply with the Equality Act of 2010. The Supreme Court made the legal position on the definition of sex clear, so the EHRC will not seek views on those legal aspects. Okay. So nothing on the Supreme Court interpretation. It's just about, given that interpretation, how should that be applied? Which we can still comment on, even if we disagree with the actual thing. So like, I would be saying bathrooms are not a single-sex space. Clearly, when you go into a shop, almost always they have something saying, oh, male member of staff might come into this female bathroom so that they can do cleaning. That's a really common practice that public bathrooms are actually a mixed gendered space so that cleaning staff can do their job. So that could be one of the things you could argue. I would encourage, if you're British, participate in this, make your view known. A key point you want to put across, examine the different single-sex spaces and look at if they're actually a single-sex space. The main thing is going to be looking from the view of employees, because that's where people are going to forget that a bathroom, and clearly they have forgotten that in this. Bathrooms aren't single-sex spaces; they never have been, because they are cleaned by both sexes. The consultation will seek on whether these updates clearly articulate the practical implications of a judgment and enable those who will use the code to understand and comply with. We said that bit. While the consultation is running, the EHRC will hold Q&A sessions with stakeholders representing affected protected characteristic groups. These meetings aim to answer questions on the EHRC's understanding of the Supreme Court's judgment, the consultation process, where views are being sought, and what can and cannot be changed in the draft code of practice. Participants will need to submit a consultation response. The EHRC will also meet with governments from across Britain and hold informative briefings for the parliamentarians. The EHRC will review responses received as part of a consultation and make necessary amendments to the Code of Practice. It will then be submitted to the Minister for Women and Equalities for approval and laying in Parliament. Further information on the consultation and how it can be completed will follow when it launches. Okay, so that's what I want to know. How does one participate in this? So if I put in consultations, what I want to know is how do I get more information? I want to get more information on these Q&A sessions, and I want to get more information on the consultations. Is that they're going to reach out to people to do consultations with business owners and stuff, or can we submit ourselves as a potential consultant, I suppose, as stakeholders? Because we are stakeholders, because these are our human rights. So I'd assume the public count, and it did say something about the civil society, yeah. So I don't know if somebody has to represent civil society or if we can represent ourselves. And yeah, in light of the level of public interest, that implies that the public can do something. So just my question is how You've missed the most important bit of information here. How do? This was 14th of May it came out. Yeah, what do you guys think? Do I need to Google something more specific? What if I put EHRC Equality Act 2010 updates Q and A. Let's try that. Not the FAQ, I don't think that's what I'm wanting, but we'll check it. Yeah, I don't know how to do this. Maybe this is one where I'm just going to have to email them and then let you guys know how they respond. And this is just information about the act, isn't it? Yeah. What changed? Okay, versus what was there before 2010. Yeah, it's just not, there's no info on the specific thing I'm looking for. I'm not sure. If you all have any ideas, we can try it, but this might be something that I have to do in the background and let you guys know about. I've also been struggling to figure out, oh, you're looking for hydrate. Hydrate. Yeah? And you make a good point. I can add the same thing as, like, can I just make a copy? No. Okay, let's edit. Just copy that text. Add water. Okay, you can have that as water or as hydrate. There you go. Either works. You can't have water. Yeah, okay, so I think that's sort of as far as I know to go for this. I still need to, okay, I still need to also contact Stonewall, and I have just been struggling to figure out how I'm supposed to contact them. Like, they don't just give me an email. Because, like, all I want to know is, like, how can I be politically effective? Contact us. I'm an individual. Yeah, now it just gives me, oh, email. Wait, but is this just gonna... Hold on, because I'm pretty sure this just opens a window. It doesn't actually give me that email. It doesn't do anything, apparently. It's a broken button. Okay, I'm clicking on it and nothing's happening. Maybe if I just Google, like, Stonewall email. Because I'm just not getting anything here. I guess I can just show you because nothing's even happening. Like, I'm clicking right now, nothing's happening. If you hover over the link, yeah. Mail to subject equals new. So yeah, it's going to generate me like yeah, mail to. So it's trying to do a thing so that it'll like start me emailing them, right? And then I type in my email address and I do that. I'm pretty sure that's how that works, right? That's how mail to works. I think that's maybe why it's broken, because it's saying mail to and then just question mark. Yeah, no, it's just... I'm hoping you guys can see that on screen. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, so it's just giving me mail to, is that right? Yeah, : ? So like, it's not actually giving me an email address, which is annoying. Why are you so cringe? Also, hold up. Twitter, Facebook. Where's my blue sky, motherfuckers? Wait, you got it? You found their email? Drop it in chat. Because I would like to ask them what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, got it as in like you understand it. You think it'd open Outlook? Yeah, I think that's sort of... Yeah, you understand. Yeah, no worries. What if I just type in... I'm going to do this with it turned off in case it pops my email on screen. Stonewall email. Yeah, like there's a press email that it's giving me, but there's not just the... Like I'm not... Oh, info at Stonewall? That might be what I'm looking for. Information now. Cheers, boys. Okay, I think this is what we're looking for. Yeah, that'll be what we want. Info at stonewall.org.uk. Okay, good to know. Yeah, so because I want to email them saying something like, hey, obviously we both know this has happened. So yeah, we still have Twitter. That's kind of wild. This has happened. I know that protests themselves aren't really that politically effective. What would be the most politically effective thing for me to do, especially with Reform having such a huge win in the local elections recently? Like that makes it extra spooky. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? How would I be most politically effective? Who do I write letters to, or do I have to go to some council meetings, or what? Ooh, edit my life. Is that a? Are we a ban here, or is this just a fun little troll? You're on. I'm watching you, buddy. Yeah, not sure. So I'm just gonna email them and just be like, yo, what's the deal here? What am I doing? And then yeah, they'll also be finding out what the deal is with this with the EHRC stuff, and like, yo, how do we do the consultation thing? How do we do the Q&A thing? Mail to is a HTML link designed to connect an email to whatever mail app you use. Yeah. Funny how it has EKS logo and says Twitter. Wait, was that not actually? Go away. That is a Twitter logo. Oh, no, I love it does say Twitter though, you're right. Oh, EKS X. I get it. Yeah, I like that too. Twitter logo. Share on Twitter. Nobody cares about X. To be fair, I think they've just not updated it because it actually says twitter.com. Oh, you're on about on this website. Yeah, true. True. Do you have a... Yeah, it also just says twitter.com, to be fair. So... That means, though, somebody went in and updated the logo, but didn't actually update the links that they use on this Information Now website. Hilarious. Yeah, I imagine Twitter does just redirect, so maybe they didn't bother, but it is still funny. And yeah, I'm guessing they've just not updated this at all, because that's all the old stuff. Yeah, so I guess I'll just I'll let you know what they say. I'll sort of, I guess I'll just scream and shout about it, both like in the Discord as well as on streams, and just let people know, like, hey, this is something you can do. What's the year at the bottom of the page? So look, we'll check both. Copyright's 2025. But like, that doesn't necessarily mean the page has been updated since then. 8th of May 2024 is when it was updated, which means it was updated since Twitter. And yet, Stonewall, I'm guessing, actually wasn't updated. Like, their copyright will be a recent copyright because they are a copyrighted company. Wait, 2024 copyright? Does that mean they don't have a 2025 copyright, or does that mean they haven't updated it since 2024? But if I go back to like, if I just Google Stonewall contact us, Stonewall contact us. Oh, you're not telling me when you were updated. That's annoying. Okay, I don't know when it was updated then. But at the latest, 2024, I suppose. But like, they could have just updated this for like the base website and not updated this actual page on the website. You know? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah, no worries. We'll probably wrap up soon. Because I don't think I've got anything else to talk about. Unless you guys have questions you want to ask about something. But yeah. What was that debate Mihagi was talking about? MPs debated one of the petitions yesterday. Let's see if we can bring it up. MP debate May 19th, Supreme. Oh no, we'll just put in Equality Act. Okay, 5 days ago. Let's see about this e-petition. E-petition, transgender people self-identifying their legal gender. E-petition on transgender, okay. Allow transgender people to self-identify their legal gender is being debated in Westminster Hall on 9th May. Oh, that's what you're talking about. So this e-petition is what led us to having that debate happen. Calls on the government to change the law so that trans people can change their legal gender without an official diagnosis of gender dysphoria. Okay, so it's a little bit different. There is a positive correlation between allowing trans people to live as their gender rather than their sex assigned at birth in regards to positive mental health, physical outcomes. Government response. Gender Recognition Act of 2004 is a robust piece of legislation which, with appropriate checks and balances, will reflect the seriousness of changing a person's legal sex. The government is committed to modernising, simplifying and reforming the legal gender recognition process to remove indignities for trans people whilst retaining the need for diagnosis of gender dysphoria. We believe this strikes the right balance, and the government will not introduce self-identification. Okay. Let's talk strategy for a moment. See, Discord posted the link for submissions. Oh, awesome, Mihagi, you're freaking awesome. How the hell did you even do that? I've just seen that as I scrolled up. How the hell did you do that? Fuck it, I'm checking it right now. And then, no, we'll talk about this for a second, because I want to talk about this for a second. Okay. When we are doing politics, this is bad politics. Okay? Given where our current state of stuff is, and the fact that it's like, right now, we're going towards like screw trans people. You're going way too far if you're then like full self-ID for the legal recognition of gender. Like they're over here, and you want to take them all the way over here, okay? Off screen, off camera. Instead, take them from here over to here. So a better petition, in my opinion, would be allow transgender people to change their legal gender with just a diagnosis. So if you have a diagnosis, you can get a GRC. That would be a much more effective way to do this, in my opinion. Because then you still retain the like, yo, if you trust doctors, like there is a diagnosis here. By saying that that is insufficient, you are saying that the doctor's wrong. So there's a solid argument there. It becomes much harder to argue it against people who are already against you, going for this lens. I think it's something that people like often forget with politics. Like, you need some strategy. Take the wins you can get. Don't fight the crazy battles. You know, don't go straight to extreme. Accept steady progress. Yeah. And I'm guessing this is just a bit of info on the GRA. Enables people whose gender identity does not correspond with their sex originally listed for birth certificate to obtain a gender GRC. In section 9, yeah. So this is just some information about it. This isn't like information about the debate. Process involves applying for a GRP panel. Yeah, like I would get rid of this GR panel. And I would just say, if you got the thing, you got the thing. You know? I think that's a much easier battle to fight. Oh God, Conservative government consultation. Okay. In July 2018, the Conservative government announced a consultation on reforming the GRA in England and Wales. It said that many trans people felt the system was intrusive, humiliating and burdensome, and it wanted to make it easier for trans people to achieve legal recognition. The Conservative government, well, that's pretty cool. How did I just not know about this at all? I guess this was before my transition stuff. Yeah, because that was like 7 years ago. So yeah, it was quite a long time ago. The Conservative government responded to consultation in September 2020. It stated that it had decided not to take forward any proposals for reform. Of course it had. Concluding the GRA struck the right balance in there are proper checks and balances in the system. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, but it did lower the cost, so that's good. This is all 2020 stuff. Okay, this is a bit more recent. The Labour Party's manifesto, for the 2024 general election contained a commitment to modernise, simplify and reform the intrusive and outdated gender recognition law to a new process, whilst retaining the need for a diagnosis of gender dysphoria from a specialist doctor before somebody can apply for GST. So that's basically what I'm talking about. The Labour government has not yet provided any further details. Yeah, no shit. On its plan for reforming a law on gender recognition. Yeah, they've gone totally the other direction. Yo, Saustrings, you got stuff going on right now. Premier MPs talked about it, is getting a diagnosis in UK. Will take 6 years plus due to waiting lists being that long, so other way is private if you have money. Yeah, but like, from the perspective of the government, they need something solid to be like, this is your evidence that like you are trans. Because otherwise it means that people can just rapidly go back and forth between whatever they want, which means that there is no point in even having a gendered anything in the government. Like basically just everybody becomes gender fluid. Because essentially a self-ID system is the government having a gender fluid system. So I can totally see how they're going to have some difficulty there. And would rather you have like a specific thing. And then rather than trying to change the legislation around the difficulty that comes with needing the diagnosis, instead you would want to focus your energy on what can we do to bring the waiting list down. So it would be petitioning for more, for more gender clinics, for more funding towards gender clinics, and that side of things to bring the waiting list down, rather than trying to like remove that requirement. Because like it's a fine requirement. It's just as you rightly put it, the waiting list is so long that it becomes an issue. But yeah, the issue there is waiting list. So that's what you would want to target. In addition to reforming the law on gender recognition, the Labour government has announced several other policies aimed at advancing the rights and protections afforded to LGBT people, including delivering a full trans-inclusive ban on conversion therapy practices. That's kind of cool, I guess. Equalising all existing strands of hate crime to make them aggravated offences, and reviewing adult gender identity services to ensure that all trans people receive appropriate and high-quality care. Yeah, so this is one where it's like, what specifically do you mean? Because so far what that's meant is, oh, we've reviewed the adult gender identity services, we're seeing they're all shit, and you should not have them anymore. It's like, that's not how that works. You have made things worse if you just get rid of them. It's saying that's more like the breaking up of Tavistock and like the children's stuff where they've had issues, and that was mainly on the Conservative government. So yeah. I mean, that's all stuff that's before. Yeah. Okay, Mihugi was saying that that they'd put stuff in Trans Network, as in a link. So let's check that real quick. I assume you put it in general chat. Ah, perfect. Thank you. Oh, I see. You were linking to this, which is what I've just been going through, isn't it? Or is it? No, this is something different, isn't it? No, this is something different. Okay, let's read through this real quick. Okie dokie. So this is Code of Practice for Services, Public Functions and Associations Consultation 2025. This is consultation of our Code of Practice for Services, blah, 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 blah. We're opening consultation, blah, blah, blah. Ruling, what we're consulting on. Okay, here we go. Consulting the changes we've made following the UK Supreme Court ruling for Women in Scotland. On the following pages, you can read the parts of the code that we are consulting on that are new or have changed. These include changes to definitions and explanations and new examples. Any feedback provided? Yep. Take part in the consultation. We're opening the consultation to gather feedback on the changes we have made following the UK Supreme Court ruling in For Women in Scotland. We are only consulting on parts of code that are affected by the ruling. Some parts of code have not changed as a result of the UK Supreme Court's decision and are therefore not being consulted on. Any information provided regarding parts of the code that are not being consulted on will not be considered as an official consultation response. Okay, so you can fill in the survey, you can email, or you can phone. I highly recommend anyone in the UK, you should be filling in this survey and make your opinions known. Make sure, do read through this again a couple of times. Make sure that you are answering in the way they want you to, so that your opinion doesn't just get deleted and ignored. Okay? So stick to it being, you're not challenging the UK Supreme Court's ruling, you're challenging their guidelines based upon that. Okay? Go through these, make sure you're answering that so that you don't just get discounted. Okay? That's really important. You need to have gender clinics in each healthy authority rather than for regional areas. Yeah. I mean, part of it is just a funding issue, you know? You're dealing with something that is specialised towards 0.4% of the population. Clearly there isn't enough right now, hence the waiting list is so long, but you can only allocate so much funding towards a single diagnostic thing, like a single, I guess, condition you'd call it in this context, that affects 0.4% of the population. So, like, you know, it's a difficult thing to balance, especially considering how strange the NHS already is. And with this new Supreme Court ruling, how extra strange it's going to be, because now trans people, effectively, for ruling it becomes that trans people need their own space. The guidelines are all, you gotta give trans people their own space that isn't in the male or in the female. And potentially that own space is like per person, which is fucking nuts. I don't know how the fuck they're supposed to manage that. But hey, you know. So yeah, who the fuck knows? And of course, as we get through the waiting list, that's going to become a larger and larger amount of people. That said, who the fuck's even going to be going for GRC now? So who knows? Maybe it becomes less people because less people go for GRCs. I don't know. Part of me is just like, I'd want to get a GRC out of protest. Like, I've got this and it's useless. Why do I even have this? And like, have it so that I can be like, why do I even have this? I don't know. That makes sense in my brain. Yeah. Okay. I think it's time to wrap up. How have we been streaming for like an hour and a half since the lesson? I've done great. How did I turn zero content into content? We did awesome. Okay, well, thank you all so much for coming. As I said, next thing we have is there's a 1 o'clock lesson tomorrow. So it'll be a 1 till 2 lesson. I'll be honest, again, I don't really have anything planned to talk about, so I don't know how long the stream will be afterwards. But we'll stick around a little bit to talk about the lesson and just anything chat wants to talk about. And then we might finish that one early. But yeah, so I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Lismara lesson. And then after that, it'll be the workshop. So yeah, I think that's everything to talk about. If you want to support what we do, I suppose, head over to the Ko-fi. Reminder that while you're in chat right now, you are all earning points, and those points are being spent in 8 days' time. So Wednesday 28th, we'll do a big ass stream. I need to plan it out a bit. We'll do a big ass stream, and yeah, that'll be when you get to do stuff. So like, make sure you have some time on Wednesday the 28th to swing by here and spend your points on tickets. And then I'll make a big, like, you don't need to stick around to the end. I'll make a big announcement in the Discord for who won, and I'll like get in touch with them as well. So yeah, okie dokie then, people. Have a wonderful, music's just stopped perfectly in time as well. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. I will see you all tomorrow, and yeah, have a good day. Okay, goodbye everybody. Goodbye. I love you.